started because, as you mentioned, the hula itself is a, for those that don't know, the hula is a history. Basically, it's how the Hawaiians translate and pass down their legacy and their stories of their lineage to future generations. So to have the dance banned for as long as it was under the missionaries was very traumatic. And, your awareness and your sensitivity to bring that back to light again, I think is, in some ways, it's been credited with, a bit of a Hawaiian Renaissance that we are now currently going through. As an artist, that must be very rewarding for you.
It is, but now I'm at the point where the younger people think that it's just normal. They don't know the trouble we went through back in the early stages. Where I did research in the Bishop Museum. They thought I lived over there in the Ranger Jerome Baker collection, but I would study the old drawings, like from Captain Cook, and what they would draw to show what the people looked like. They were actually the artists that were on Captain Cook's boat were here to draw the plants and things like that, but they did some images of the dancers and the people and stuff. I think one of the challenges also was that because I'm not Hawaiian, the people here, a lot of the kumu-hulas and hula teachers, they were always kind of testing me to see, what I was doing with it. It's like I did walk on fire when I was down in Tahiti with some Pacific Island Dance Festival. But I think over the years it's become so familiar with people, especially younger people, that they don't really know. I know a lot more people are learning the ancient hula now than there were before, which is good. So they are getting the education, and hopefully it did make them curious and want to get involved in it. But yeah, there have been. I think there still are challenges going on with.
When you first started, you must have been, overwhelmed. I would imagine it probably started on a simple quest, and now you sort of become an ambassador. That's kind of an interesting metamorphosis.
Yeah, it's been really exciting. I've done art shows in Japan where 500 people a day would show up. I've been able to do gallery exhibits in Switzerland and kind of all over the world. So I have, in a sense, become an ambassador, or at least my work has. My work has made people hopefully curious all over the world to see what's going on, because now, from what I understand, there are hula halaus down in Brazil and Mexico and Europe, and there's 500,000 hula dancers in Japan right now, which is more than there are here in Hawaii. So in that way, if I've contributed to sharing the dance and the culture and basically the aloha of Hawaii, then I feel.
Well, speaking of your work, I know I read that two of your most favorite images were, and I'm showing the first one here, it was the male hula dancer who's sort of flying in the air, and he has one leg just about to land on the beach. Yeah. Can you tell me about that image and the other one, which I'll show afterwards, which is the female hula dancer with her arms spread out and the water raging behind her? Start with the male hula dancer. What's that print called?
It's called kapa hula, and that image, for me, photographing male dancers is more difficult than photographing the women dancers. And the reason for that is because graphically the women have, a tea leaf skirt, and they've got their hair, and they can get everything going in like 10 different directions, which graphically, from an art standpoint, can be very exciting and really interesting. The male dancers, they don't have the long hair, and they usually have a malo or something like that on. They're usually not that easy to make interesting or to catch something that's really exciting with a male dancer. That guy, he could fly. I mean, he was an amazing dancer, and that's why that is one of my favorite images. Yeah, because it's such a difficult image to grab from a male dancer. It would be much easier to find a female dancer. I don't know if they would do that style of dance, but to get that kind of action and that kind of strength and just volatility in the image that other people can relate to and see.
And then how about your image, Tequila, which we have showing right now?
Yeah, that image, I like that because she's telling a story about Pele and Hi'iaka. And Pele is the volcano, the fire god, and Hi'iaka was her sister. And Pele asked Hi'iaka to go to Kauai with her boyfriend or whatever, and somehow the sister got tangled up with a boyfriend and made Pele mad. And what she did is she burned all of Hi'iaka's Ohia forests. So what that dance is about is the lava coming down and burning all the forest. But when you look at that dancer and you see her eyes, she looks like she's on fire. She's very spooky, kind of scary looking. I think the wave and the ocean in the background just kind of added to her strength and her power. But basically what I liked about that was that she was really telling a story. And like you said earlier, that's the Hawaiians had an oral history. They didn't have a written history. So everything, all of their history was passed down from generation to generation through their chants and their dances and like that. It wasn't until after the missionaries came that they started writing things down. So that image to me just depicts what a strong oral history you can project or you can, convey to other people.
Absolutely. We want to encourage everyone to visit Kim Taylor's website. It's kimtaylorreece.com, KimTaylorReece.com, kimtaylorreece.com. You can see all of his images as well as order prints for yourself. And if you're fortunate enough to be here in the islands, I know that Kim's very accommodating. And you have 2 galleries. Kim, can you tell us about your 2 galleries?
Yeah, we have one gallery that's out by Sacred Falls, kind of towards the North Shore before you get to Polynesian Cultural Center on the island of Oahu. It's very beautiful, very country. We've got a waterfall in the back, and in the wintertime we have whales that jump up in the front window. It's a gallery that I'm really proud of. I carried lumber for 2 years to remodel it into a gallery. It's got a lot of glass and stuff, and it was actually on Home and Garden TV after I finished. The other gallery downtown...
I've been there. It's an amazing place. You feel like you're floating on the ocean almost.
Yeah, people come in and go, we really like the artwork, but can we rent this for our summer vacation? So it's a really beautiful, kind of a relaxing, nice place. And then the gallery downtown is on Bethel Street by the Hawaii Theater, the old Hawaii Theater that they restored. And that one, we show different artists' work, and that's more of kind of... I don't know, that whole downtown neighborhood is all galleries and boutiques and restaurants, and it's a really fun area. The first Friday of every month we have a gallery walk, and that turns into a big party. We bring in entertainers, Roland Casimiro and Sean Tibanak, all these people. We have a
video. As I mentioned, our internet it granted us the show because it came back on 5 minutes before we came to air, so we were still uploading the video, but we have a video of that event, and we'll post that on our website. CafeParadiseRadio.com, and as well probably we'll give Kim a link if he wants to put it on his. But Kim, I know you got to go, but before you go, let's just ask for your words of advice for artists or photographers who would love to live the life that you live. I mean, I myself fantasize about living your life sometimes. So, what advice do you have for artists that want to pursue? What advice do you have for artists that want to pursue a career such as yours, or in general, what would you advise someone who's a photographer and an artist coming up?
You know what it's always been for me? It's been longevity. It's like just hang in there, and if you love it, if you love doing what you're doing, it's gonna work out. And I've always said even if you're not getting a perfect shot every time. One of the things I did when Ansel Adams passed away about 10 years ago is I went into a retrospective show in a gallery or a museum in Los Angeles, and he had something from 1947, 1952, 1963. About every 3 or 4 years, Ansel Adams had a picture that was good enough to put in a museum after he was dead. And once I saw that, I was like, okay, I don't have to be perfect on every photo shoot, but if I hang in there and if I just keep doing this, in the end, I'm going to end up with enough good stuff so that when I'm gone, I can publish a book or do museum shows and stuff, and really be able to share a lot of it with other people. And that's kind of always been my goal. I've never